Hi, my friends, it's Matt. So today I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, I gotta hit record on the audio. Hold on. Hi, my friends, it's Matt. So today I wanted to talk to you about imposter syndrome. What it is, why I have it, why you might have it sometimes, and what we can do about it, because it's not a fun thing to have. Um, and I recognize that some of my videos, all of them so far, are kind of long. The last one I kind of rambled on for about 45 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this one more succinct, more to the point, so hopefully it gets to the point quicker for you. But first, I've got to talk about this coffee. So I'm already not doing a good job. I know. So I go to Starbucks twice a week on my weekend, and the barista there, she's so sweet. I know her name. She knows my name. She knows my order. Today I walk in. There's a long line. By the time I get to the register to order and pay, she has my drink ready. And she wrote on the cup, I don't know if you can see this, but it says, "Have a great day, Matt." Just, that's the kind of thing that puts you in a good mood. And it's just such a sweet gesture. But anyway, so let's get to the point of the video, which is imposter syndrome. What is it? Why do we get it? And how do we fix it? And again, I'm looking at my notes a little bit in case you see me not looking at the camera. So what is the definition of imposter syndrome? What is the definition of imposter syndrome? I kind of wrote this definition myself. I'm sure there's an official definition, but this is what I feel that it is to me. And again, these things could affect everyone differently, but this is just for me. So I consider it the feeling that you don't deserve to be where you are in life, or the feeling that someone else should be in your place doing what you're doing, or feeling like a fraud because of certain achievements you've made in your life. So let's really break that down. And I want to make a note here. You don't have to have achieved major successes to have imposter syndrome or to feel imposter syndrome. Whatever is success to you, you could have achieved it, or you could be working towards it, and you could still feel imposter syndrome. So for example, you don't have to be you don't have to be a brain surgeon to feel imposter syndrome. Well, I don't really know what I'm doing or whatever. Hopefully no brain surgeons feel like they don't know what they're doing. Just want to clarify that. But you get my point. So your definition of success could be getting 5 new followers this month. And if you achieve that and you're successful in that, you could feel imposter syndrome. You could feel like you don't deserve that. Why should those people listen to you? Blah, blah, blah. So that's basically imposter syndrome in a nutshell. It's feeling that you don't deserve where you are in life. You don't deserve what you've accomplished in life, or you feel like a fraud because people look up to you, or people respect you, or people appreciate your work, and you don't feel that you deserve that appreciation. And again, like I said, you don't have to have achieved major success to feel imposter syndrome. Just any success or any sort of appreciation can trigger that imposter syndrome. And I'm going to give you 2 quick examples here from my personal life. So obviously I write music. I think that's pretty well known at this point. Every time I write music, every time I write a new piece of music, and I think I said this in the last video, I listen to it. Obviously, I check it, triple, quadruple check it. I listen to it a million times. I'm like sick of it by the time I'm done. And I check it, and I think, wow, this is really good. I did really good with this piece of music. And then, just to unwind or whatever, I'll turn on like soundtracks for film scores. And then I'll hear a John Williams piece, or an Alan Silvestri piece, or a James Newton Howard piece, or whatever it is. And I'll think, wow, my music really is terrible. I'm awful. I'm probably the worst composer that has ever lived. Um, and I don't deserve anyone to buy my music or play my music or whatever. Um, so that's one way I feel imposter syndrome, is when I compare myself to, high caliber composers after I've written something. And then the second is, a few years ago, I was maybe 2 or 3 now, I was commissioned by a symphony to write a piece for a video that they were doing. And the music director asked me to do it, and I said, okay, just so you know, like, you could ask someone else that's more qualified. I think at that point I had written like 4 or 5 pieces. He had only performed one of my pieces, and I only had like 2 orchestras, including his, had played any of my music at that point. Now I'm up to like 5, so it's still not that exciting. But so I felt like, well, why are you asking me to do this? I don't deserve this, and I'm probably grossly underqualified for this. So I felt imposter syndrome the whole time I was writing that piece, the whole time I prepped it, the whole time I listened to them perform it. I felt imposter syndrome. I thought, well, someone could have come in and done a way better job than me. But there I was. I was the one that was chosen. So anyway, those are 2 examples of when I feel imposter syndrome. Also, with this YouTube channel, I don't feel qualified to talk about life or to analyze film scores by Alan Silvestri, one of the greatest film composers, arguably, of all time. I'm not qualified to do that, but here I am doing it. So yes, I do feel imposter syndrome. Not so much with the YouTube channel, because it's not really a success. I think I have, at the time I'm filming this, I have 6 subscribers, so we'll see where the count goes from there. But yeah, so I don't feel qualified to do half of the stuff I'm doing, and yet I'm doing it. That's the important thing. Okay, so those are some personal examples. Now, what are some solutions to imposter syndrome? Say you feel imposter syndrome. What do I do to kind of get that out of my head and kind of cure that disease, so to speak? And what can you do about it? So the first thing is, stop comparing yourself to others except for inspiration. I'll say that again. Stop comparing yourself to others except for inspiration. So the only reason you should be comparing yourself to anyone else is to be inspired to do better. If comparing yourself to someone largely successful inspires you, like me, occasionally I'll listen to a composer that's not like wildly successful but is doing very well, and I'll get inspired. I can listen to a John Williams piece, honestly, and half the time I don't feel imposter syndrome. Half the time I feel like I am inspired. Like, now I can use some of this. I can use that technique that he used there, and that fits perfectly with what I'm doing on my piece here. So compare yourself to others only when it gives you inspiration to do better. If comparing yourself to others is just holding you back and it's creating that imposter syndrome, or it's making you feel like you're not good enough or a fraud, stop doing it. Only compare yourself to others when it gives you inspiration to do better work, or be a better person, or do better at whatever it is you're doing. So that's the first thing. Stop comparing yourself to others except for inspiration. The second thing is, recognize that others can see your skills and talents in a way that you may not. This is a big one for me. So, when that music director asked me to be commissioned, or commissioned me and asked me to write that piece of music, which was at that time, still is, I think, the longest thing I had ever written. It was like under 10 minutes, but still, I write very short pops music, so that was long for me. When he asked me to do that, again, I felt imposter syndrome. I felt, well, you could be asking anyone. to do this. And I think his solution, if I had said no, was he wasn't even going to ask anyone else. He was going to use like just already written music, like maybe classical music, and kind of adapt it to fit the film or whatever. But so I felt imposter syndrome there. But what did I have to realize in that moment was that music director could have seen a skill or talent in me that I myself did not recognize. And we have to really understand that. So, you know, if people are appreciating your work, if people are complimenting you, if people are hiring you to do something, if people are promoting you, and you feel imposter syndrome, realize that you are not the imposter. You are not the fraud. Those people are seeing skills or talents in you that you yourself are not admitting you have, or not admitting you have to the extent that you have it. So they are recognizing something that you may be blind to or just in denial about. So look at it from that perspective. They would not be people don't give things out for pity. That's like number one rule of life. People don't just give you things or promote you or whatever for pity because they feel bad for you. People are selfish, and they will only do things if it benefits them or the organization they work for. So that music director would not have commissioned me to write that piece. There's an airplane going by. Would not have commissioned me to write that piece if he did not recognize that I had a skill that would be valuable to him. You would not have gotten that promotion had your boss not recognized that you had skills that would be valuable in that position. And so understanding that fact and recognizing that you have talents and skills that people are picking up on that you may not be admitting to yourself is very important. And realize that when you have imposter syndrome, and it will make you feel so much better. So that's number 2. Recognize that others can see your skills and talents in a way that you may not. Number 3, there's 4, by the way. This is number 3. Keep improving, but don't obsess over perfectionism, right? So it's better to start now at something than wait until you think you're ready, because you will never be ready. That's a whole nother topic, but you will never be ready to start something. I am way not ready to start a YouTube channel, and here I am. So to fix imposter syndrome, realize that, well, I'm never going to be perfect at this. Don't even try. Just try to get better every day. Try to be better at it. Try to deserve the praise you're getting, or deserve the recognition or whatever. You never will. No one ever does. It's just not possible to live up to that. But if you keep improving yourself every day, you will get better, and you will build your confidence in a way that kind of negates that imposter syndrome. Over time, of course. So that's number 3. Keep improving, but don't obsess over perfectionism. And remember that it's better to start now than to wait until you're quote-unquote ready, which will never happen. The 4th and final cure that I have found for my own imposter syndrome, maybe it will help you, is kind of relates to number 2. Quit attributing your success to luck, and realize that you bring value. If you did not bring value, you would not be where you are today. You would not have accomplished the things you have today. You would not be receiving the praise that you are today. So realize that you bring value. Quit attributing your success to luck. Of course, everyone's success has a little bit of luck involved, right? Everyone's success. Even John Williams continuously says, "Oh, I was lucky. I got a lucky break here, whatever." He's wildly talented, and he's just too humble to admit it, but he is wildly talented. So quit attributing your success to luck. Realize that you have something that brings value to people, and that is why you have accomplished what you have accomplished. And no one can take that away from you, and no one can make you feel bad about that except yourself. And that's where that imposter syndrome comes in, so get rid of that. I think I saw an interview the other day where, who was it, Pink? I think it was Pink. Pink said, she was on the Ellen show or something, which I don't watch that, but whatever. I saw a YouTube clip. She said, oh, the biggest fraud of all time is my career. The longest fraud, or something like that, the longest fraud was my career. So even Pink, and they talked a little bit about, why she doesn't feel like she deserves what she does. Even Pink, which is, one of the biggest stars, musicians of this generation, I guess you could say, feels that she doesn't deserve the accolades that she's getting. I think she won some award. And even her career feels like a fraud. And she is obviously incredibly talented. So realize, and I think that helps too, is realizing that even these wildly successful people have imposter syndrome. So if they have imposter syndrome and now they've achieved probably more than you and I have, but they're also extremely talented at whatever they do. So realize that if these big celebrities have imposter syndrome with their level of talent and publicity, it is very reasonable to expect that you have imposter syndrome as well. So accept that you get that feeling, process those 4 solutions, and then try to overcome imposter syndrome. Just keep getting better every day. Get those voices out of your head and realize that you deserve what you've accomplished, even if it's not much. For me, it's not much. Well, my friends, I think that about covers it. To my 6 subscribers, or maybe more by the time this video comes out, thank you for watching. I would love for you to comment. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you want. Like the video if you want. That definitely helps the algorithm show my video to more people. But also, I would love it if you commented on a personal thing. When have you felt imposter syndrome? What was it for? Or maybe you've never felt imposter syndrome. Why do you think that is? And if you have solutions to it that I didn't mention, or reasons for it that I didn't mention, share that in the comments. I would love to hear personal stories, not like crazy personal, like within reason here. But share personal stories or a personal example of when you felt imposter syndrome, maybe how you fixed it, maybe how you weren't able to fix it, maybe how you still feel it. And I think that would really help out people who are feeling it, who are watching this video, and who are reading the comments. It'll help that we're all in the same boat here. We're all going through this kind of stuff. Well, my friends, I hope this video was shorter and a reasonable length of time. This is just your daily reminder to have a great day, Matt. And yeah, so enjoy your day today. Thank you for watching the video. Of course, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram. Links will be in the description, whatever, all that stuff. And until next time, have a great day, my friends.